Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. The Ohio Supreme Court is reviewing a case in which a Putnam County man stands accused of his 2-year-old child's death years after he pleaded guilty to lesser charges stemming from the incident. Travis Soto faces murder charges for the 2006 death of his son Julio. Soto originally claimed he drove over the boy with an ATV and pleaded guilty to child endangering. After serving a prison term, the father told police in 2016 he actually had beaten his son to death. The 3rd District Court of Appeals ruled Soto can't be prosecuted again due to protections against double jeopardy. The prosecution argues that Soto can be prosecuted on new charges because none of the elements needed to prove them were needed to prove child endangering. When thinking about scientists, we're used to a certain kind of image, whether it's Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, or even Bill Nye the Science Guy. But there are countless others who've created revolutionary inventions.
This is Dr. Mark Dean. He holds the 7 patents that made personal computers possible.
For Dr. Frederick Burt Lee, the people behind innovation are even more diverse.
It's not just for these really smart, geeky, nerdy old men in the hallowed halls of ivory towers of academia, but that it is for Joe and Jane Public and Tariq and Shaquiqa.
COSI's president and CEO was the featured speaker for the Ohio Supreme Court's annual Black History Month celebration. Having worked at Harvard and MIT, he also applied his scientific mind for years as a technology specialist for a law firm.
I just was amazed and starstruck of how it's connected to law.
During his presentation to more than 100 high school students and faculty from Columbus area high schools, he referenced the power of youthful experimentation. Dr. Burt Lee's switch flipped after his video game exploded as a 9-year-old. For Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and Windows creator Bill Gates, their trials and errors in their teens and 20s changed history.
As someone that aspires to be an astronomer myself, it's kind of, it was a great experience to see someone that's in that field give that speech to me, and it definitely motivates me to get out there more and experience more in my own life.
While there are personal ambitions among the teens who attended, the main priority for most was to become more engaged in how science can help our present and future.
The more that we get into our scientific communities, the more that our Earth is going to benefit just of how we are living.
We're all born curious, and it's up to us as adults to make sure that you all can take that curiosity to the next level, because ultimately you're going to make sure we take care of this planet and make sure we have a great future.
It's the most critical week in a prospective attorney's life.
We'll be starting instructions in approximately 5 minutes.
This is the bar exam. Everyone taking it has a story. She was working in human resources. He spent decades as a patent engineer. They have different tactics to take on the exam.
I think we study very differently.
I think we do. We definitely do.
While their test preps may vary, their genealogy does not.
Most people didn't know, with a last name like Smith, you're not really sure.
Meet Tim and Sarah Smith, the first father and daughter to ever take the Ohio bar exam together.
The time on the clock is 1:41. You may begin.
This is a significant thing that I think, will last the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
And, there's a lot of pride.
What started as a dad suggesting his daughter read a few problems as he studied for the LSAT turned into a years-long journey at Akron Law School.
What's it going to be like to be in class together, and do you want to sit with me?
I know. Do we study together?
Do we study together? That was kind of that was kind of odd.
But the more they got a grasp on their situation, the more they got comfortable talking about their studies. Sometimes they were too comfortable.
We were at times banned from speaking anything law-related at family gatherings.
That's hard.
It is. It's like the only thing on your mind sometimes, and so they would relegate us to a special table at Thanksgiving.
The focus for Tim is to implement his law degree into patenting. Sarah has her eyes on working as a judicial clerk. However, they're not completely ruling out being side by side again.
I don't know that,
they'll overlap much.
Common law firm will ever happen, but never say never.
Right, because here we are.
And that's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.